Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today I have a replay for you sent in by none other but Mike Goes Boom, and this is a very special video, and this might be the result of a little bit of a banter on Twitter. So if you haven't noticed it, he is in his beloved T-34-57, a tank that he absolutely loves. I think this is not the premium version, but the tech tree one, so he's missing the APCR shell, but doesn't really matter anyways. He loves his Russian tanks, and he loves this tank in particular, and I know for a fact that he loved this tank back in the days. When I'm talking about back in the days, this is before I made YouTube videos, and how actually Mike contributed to this shall be explained after the little bit of banter on Twitter. So over the past couple of months and weeks in particular, Mike actually posted on social media, mostly Twitter as far as I'm aware, some picture of result screenshots from, matches that he had. And I was like, mocking him a little bit. Hey, you should make a video about this. Hey, you really should try it, And I think I only can assume that as a result of this, he sent in the replay, there, go for it. And this is, I'm not quite sure if it was intentional or not, but it remembered me a callback from years ago. So how did Mike and I actually come to know of each other? Well, it started off with none other but Squire Flyer. One day I was actually sitting at home having nothing to do but play War Thunder. Life was so different back in the days. Not. I scrolled through YouTube, and Squirefly requested people that play War Thunder that want to help him out by making one of his cinematic videos, And I was saying, yeah, sure, why not? I hopped on the TeamSpeak 3 back in the days. Yeah, TeamSpeak was a thing. And yeah, we made the video. It was very funny, and it was not only the TS3 of Squireflyer, but in fact he shared this TeamSpeak with a lot of other content creators. Amongst them was actually Bismarck back in the days, and also Max and The Orange Doom and many other YouTubers that at some point stopped being active, but some still are. And amongst them was also, surprise surprise, Mike Goes Boom, because after that initial day I hopped on this TeamSpeak on a daily basis. And I was really curious to interact with people all over the world, normal players like you and me, and then also to have, a good listening to all the other content creators, Are they really like they seem in those YouTube videos? And yeah, sure, most of them actually were. Obviously, the videos are always a bit more polished than the usual rambling, but anyways, it was pretty cool. And at some point I started to ask Mike if he would make a video about this and that and what he thinks about this, and then he said, nah, that's not just the kind of content that he wants to do. And if I'm so interested in this topic, why don't I make a YouTube video? So I then said, no, Mike, but because it's the internet, and I'm not really confident with my voice, with my English, and also with my overall point of views, and I'm not quite sure how people will love it, if people will love it at all. And also I have no idea how to set stuff up, the recording program, the editing software, how does it work, and then the micro, and then my PC, or rather my laptop back in the days, just couldn't handle War Thunder in a quality that was something that I wanted to. If I would make YouTube videos, they shouldn't be the worst quality that there is. They're kind of still really trash because I make them, but that's an entirely different story. Anyways, so then Mike pushed me further and further down the line of, making content myself if I want to talk about those topics. And this is a lesson for all of us. The most difficult part of anything that you want to do is to actually get started. And how to set it up, and you have to find the right people that know how to do it and support you, and know the right friends, etc. And in fact, I was pretty lucky that Krebs Coho, another YouTuber, at some point actually, helped me making my first video. But it was, as expected, pretty trash. So the first try was not really satisfying, and the recording software and the editing software were both trash. So I just kind of dumped the video and then had a break of several weeks. And then, I had the fortune that actually Shadowplay was already on my installed on my computer. I just had no idea, So yeah, that was then the recording software. But what is about the editing software? Well, I tried one or two. They were pretty trash. They were really bad, and my computer couldn't really handle the stress. I had no idea what I was doing. But then later, I went to Sony Vegas Pro 15, and it still does very nicely. So this is how everything got started in me making videos, and obviously the first baby steps were those testing videos. I think I did 10 of them, and they were pretty bad, but I think they taught me a lot. If you do something yourself, it teaches you oh so much. This experience is so important. Nobody can really make those steps for you, in my opinion. Anyways, then the question was obviously, what should I talk about, right? Should I talk about an awesome game that I had? Should I talk about, a tank review or a plane review? And all those things went through my mind. So what kind of War Thunder YouTuber I actually wanted to be? That was the big question. And it turned out that a lot of people that I met actually had no idea and had so many basic questions. So I tried my luck with some guides. And at the same time, Mike Goes Boom actually had a competition running, trying to advertise new, fresh, young YouTubers. And so, for good measure, I sent him the link via email as requested. And he actually then, let me win second prize. And that was amazing, especially for a young YouTuber, or a fresh YouTuber, shall I say, that had those subscribers in the double or triple digits. That's a huge shout out. That's a huge help. Now, it did not really kickstart my channel that I then had overnight 5,000 subscribers, but a few dozens more, and an increased income over the past couple of weeks as a result of this competition. It really helped. And so then I got also a lot of very important feedback that was pretty useful. So over time, I think pretty quickly my video quality got polished quite a lot, or improved. The polishing is still ongoing, with proper pronunciation of English words, and just trying to improve on the rendering. I recently started to feature other people's replays, and from normal players to Twitch streamers, and now this is the first one actually featuring another YouTuber. This is amazing, and I think I owe it to Mike. I will always remember and appreciate his help. That doesn't make him, see cheeses or anything like this, but I remember the people that helped me. And if I can give something back, a little bit of an interesting story, and just showing what a good guy Mike actually was, and how actually he punished you all by making me a YouTube subscribers. Those 2 points, that's an evil equilibrium. But bad jokes aside, yeah, he now got destroyed after 8 kills and 1 capture point, and now he has chosen the Tisma, and he wants to revenge kill this Jumbo Sherman. And his first bomb drop is, it looks pretty good, but the bomb was slightly off, and so it only tracks the Jumbo Sherman. But on the other hand, he still has 1 bomb left. KV1C actually is closing in on the Jumbo Sherman. There is also an Achilles. Achilles, very easy target for the twin 37s with armor piercing rounds. And sadly, the KV1C is now closing in on the Jumbo. And while Mike revenge kills here the Jumbo Sherman, he technically got now a double strike and 11 kills. Well done, Mike. So it is really also refreshing to see that other people also cook only with water, if you know what I'm talking about. So human errors, team kills, they can always happen, and I think that's just part of War Thunder, right? So anyways, Mike really helped me to kickstart my channel. He gave me also very precious tips and tricks how to improve on certain things. He gave me a little bit of feedback, but at some point it really went that way that we deviated. First of all, the gentleman's hanger, at some point went down, and that took a while, more than a year, and then Discord appeared to get all our informations. But anyways, so we never really lost contact, and then there was this kind of trash talk that I love to do, and this little bit of banter on Twitter. And so he sent in this replay, just with the thing there, go for it, make a video out of it. And so this was pretty funny. So yeah, this is now my payback to Mike. Not revenge, but a little bit of payback. And so let's enjoy the rest of the gameplay. Now, one final thing before I talk here about the rest of the game is that a lot of people sent me replays in the wrong way. So now Mike has a little bit of company, and he got sniped in a head-on by a P-51. What a surprise. But anyways, so in the video description down below, you can find instructions how to send me an email, what the email address is, and attach the replay, and then also, the result screenshots. Especially the ones with the RP and civil lines, because they just have the best summary. What kind of position you have on the leaderboard is not that important for me personally, because I also want to point out epic awards and income reward, and if that player in question has a premium account or not. So all those things together, they should really be mentioned here. And if you send me the email, please title it with the vehicle that you have, or a lineup, the amount of kills and caps, an extremely short summary in one sentence what you were doing. So this is something a lot of people get wrong. Also, Mike is now in a second bias vehicle. This is the I-301, but sadly he just didn't really see where the P-51 was coming from. So we can see the markers, alright, but he couldn't, and so he can overlook sometimes aircraft in the air, and so he got killed by that P-51 a second time. I think now he has enough of it, and he will jump in a tank. Right, Mike? Right? Oh, that's the replay, by the way. That's just how the replay looks. And this is just basically no editing at all. This is just how I recorded it straight away. So Gleitchen still should make some improvements. And now he goes for it with the P8, with the mighty balanced 5-ton tank. 5-ton tank? Close enough. 5-ton bomb. And the P-51 is still in the air, but maybe he can sneak by. Also, the P-8 is pretty nasty with all the defensive gunners, and sometimes, depending on the patch, it is pretty tanky. If you can fool both the P-51 and the Typhoon, when I first watched it, I was in great doubt, but we'll see about this. So at this very moment, I thought to myself, well, the P-51 is stall climbing, but he actually sweeps around. Mike tries his best, but actually he loses his tail in the process. And yeah, that's the result. So he died by the same P-51 3 times. So that is kind of ruining his KD, if you will. But anyways, let's just try to pray that Mike now will pick a vehicle class that he can actually master, and so he again jumps into a KV-1. Or now he jumps in a KV-1. And as you can see, there is also his personalized decal on the top of the tank. You can't really see it right now. But yeah, this is actually something that Mike actually made it into the game with his own decal. Pretty cool, I would say. So it's actually pretty close with the points right now, and it takes a while up until the point that you get to the only capture point, and we'll see if he will make it in time. Very interesting is the ammo choice that he has, because he actually puts, he uses also APCR in this tank. But you know, the gun on the KV-1 is not the very best. So let's see what will come of it, and how epic Mike will end this game. Now, if you haven't noticed already over the past couple of weeks, months and years that both I and Mike actually do some videos, there is one massive difference, and that is that Mike, I guess, mostly writes a script, whereas I'm just brabbling on and just talking as my thoughts come along. This is something where in many cases, you know, I have a lot of those ums and ahs and just then say something differently that I initially wanted to say. Very often I take several takes on the videos in terms of commentary, and yeah, I think that this is one hell of a difference, because I just can't really stand you know, spending hours upon making a script that then when I read it, I think, I forgot this, I could also have said this, and then there is the timing and so forth. So everything, including tank reviews, ship reviews, etc., that you have enjoyed from me over the past couple of years, never was really scripted. I think I tried one script, and well, that's about it. So here we have now Mike going straight into the cap, and there is nobody stopping from decapping it. The question is if Mike can actually capture it. And he has some strong competition. He gets strafed by the P-51, but now the P-51 can't do anything. I don't think that he ever had rockets and or bombs. So while he's capturing the points, he's obviously observing his surroundings, trying to spot tanks as they try to sneak up on him. And there he spots a Sherman Firefly, I think. And again, he tries his nice move, P-51. So the P-51 failed to kill Mike a fourth time. But anyways, there is now the Sherman Firefly, and Mike prepares. And who gets the first shot off? Well, it's actually the Sherman Firefly. He bounces on the front plate, but he also can absorb the shot from the Firefly, from the 17-pounder, without any sort of serious damage. He tries to hunt down here the M19, but fails to do so. At least initially. And while he's doing this, he's abandoning the cap. And he also now has to turn his back on the direction of the enemy team. So this might be a little bit dangerous. Now, can he get actually this, and can he escape also the Sherman Firefly? If they work together, there is no way that he can actually get away with it. But he ignores the M19 and he picks the fight with the Sherman Firefly, and that's an easy side shot. Again, Soviet APHE BC magic rounds show why they are so magic. Mike has now 13 kills and 2 caps, and he wants to actively defend here the capture zone. So he goes forwards onto the ridgeline, and this is where the bad gun depression again comes in. But Mike shows that he's an old school player. He rocks backwards, uses that suspension wobbling to then fire when the tank whips practically forward, and then he finds the depression into the side of the M4A2. In fact, there is also the Sherman Firefly. He just patiently waits for him to drive by and give him the necessary angle to easily get a side shot. And he wants to again go for more 15 kills, a triple ace technically, and then here's a tank behind him. The match is about to end, and can he find here the weakness of the Jumbo? No, the Jumbo actually turned in and destroys his guns, but he cannot really kill him in time as the match is about to end. And that's a slightly epic match for Mike Goes Boom, and there you can see the rewards for that win with a premium account, filthy pay-to-win player, 141,000 civilians and 11,400 research points for the modifications, as well as 4,800 vehicle research points, because he gets such a massive penalty researching the object 685. And there you can see the awards with some epic awards being Heavy Metal Hero, Balancer, and also the Matchmaker Award, which is rather rare and difficult to obtain, especially if you try it yourself. So thanks, Mike, for sending this one in. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. I thoroughly enjoyed making a commentary. I hope that you enjoyed this little bit of story time. And, well, that's it for me today. Again, let me know in the comment section what you think about this match, the story. And as usual, please give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the ways, in the skies, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.